Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gemini Astrology channel. Today we're going to do some astrological puzzle. So I'm going to record two videos. Puzzle 1 following by puzzle 2. Why we're going to do the puzzle? Due to few reasons. The first reason is to make it a bit more interesting, engaging for those who watch this channel. Second reason is to show that astrology is a real super science, as Ken Rao says, and it is really working. The third, obviously, if you've got skills, okay? The third reason is that recently I could hear different, let's say, so-called astrologers having their own YouTube channels, talking lots of nuisance about astrology, but in fact they do not have any valuable skills. When it comes to astrology, it is all about the facts. Take the chart and show me by experience if something works or not. Not to dispute or discuss philosophy. Stick to the facts, okay? We base on the charts, we analyze the events of person's life, the past events. Why do we use the past events? We do not match the events or to fit them into the chart. No. Why do we use the events of the past? We use the events of the past to verify if we work on a correct horoscope, because if you work on a correct horoscopes, there are events shown in your chart and you will be able to trace those events happening in the past when you analyze Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantar Dasha. It is visible. For instance, if there will be an event related to the marriage, the seventh house will become active and it will be visible through the analyzing Mahadasha, Antardasha, etc., through analyzing transits, etc., etc. The same if there will be an event related to accident, it will be visible in your chart. Your sixth house, Gnati Karaka, for instance, in Gemini astrology, become active. We used the events which happened in the past, in your past, to verify if we are working on a proper, correct horoscope. If you are not able to trace the events from the past, you won't be able to predict. Astrology deals with prediction. Yeah, we predict the events. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. There is no perfect astrologer. Yeah, but like I'm saying, through the experience, through the practice, if you've got skills, you are able to see the events of the past. Anyone can try to analyze it, to trace the events of the past on their own horoscope. It should be visible by analyzing Mahadasha, Antardasha, different planetary periods, or analyzing transits. It is all visible. Yeah, if you can trace the events of the past, you'll be able to predict the future. Okay, so I'm not going to talk anymore about that astrological nonsense which can be heard on different YouTube channels. I'm focused on skills of, I would say, proving that, this is the practical science, okay? And does not matter which system you use. Yeah, you can predict, you can trace the events, okay? So, obviously, I pay a lot of attention to privacy, okay? Here what we've got in front of us This is a transit chart, okay? I do not show the whole horoscope belonging to my friend, okay? I've just shared his lagna. His lagna falls in the sign of Danu, which is Sagittarius, okay? And we'll focus on current transits. Here you've got transiting planets, current Gochara visible in his chart, okay? I didn't put the planets, his natal planets, I didn't add the natal planets, okay, due to the privacy. If you want to discuss that in more detail, in more depth, for instance, you can contact me privately. What I'm going to prove here, that if you've got some skills and if you know how to use some techniques, you can predict, yeah, obviously. So we'll focus on current transits. So what's gonna happen within a short period of time? There will be a major event happening in the life of my friend, okay? So have a look at his current transits, okay? So you've got all the transiting grahas in front of you plus his lagna, okay? And that should be enough to see what is going to happen very soon in his life, okay? I will just give you some clues, okay? For instance, let's have a look at the first lord, okay? First lord is obviously Jupiter or Guru. Have a look, pay attention when the Guru is currently in transit, in Gochara. Guru is transiting the 7th house of Mithuna, okay? Take that into consideration, the significations of the Lagna, Lord, the significations of 7th house. Think about that, okay? What else we can add to that picture? Take into consideration the 5th Lord for my friend's chart. This is obviously Mangala, okay? As you can see, currently Mangala, the 5th Lord, is transiting through the sign of Mina, which is the 4th house of my friend's horoscope. Mangala is casting, obviously, 3 aspects, but focus on the aspect, focus on his 4th aspect, okay? So, the 5th Lord, yeah? Then, let's focus on the transiting Shani. Transiting Shani is in a close conjunction with Mangala at the moment, yeah? In Mina. This is the 4th house of my friend's horoscope, okay? So, take a look at Shani's aspects, yeah, 3rd, 7th, 10th. Look what is happening in general in the chart. Look at transiting grahas in Kendras, aspecting Kendras. So we're coming to a conclusion that something important, something major is going to happen in my friend's life, yeah? Like I'm saying, look at the Kendras of the horoscope and transiting grahas, okay? I pay a lot of attention to transits. It's a great tool, and if you can, read transits, it will be a very great tool to be used, okay? I will show you also that in the puzzle too. I'll be recording that a bit later, but coming back to that transiting chart, to that Gochara, okay? So, I mentioned Guru and I mentioned Mangala, Shani. Look at their transiting position, yeah? Current Gochara. What else we can add? Look at the 9th Lord of this chart. 9th Lord is obviously Surya or the sun. The ninth house falls in the sign of Simha or Leo. Okay, so where is the ninth lord? Ninth lord is exalted, currently transiting through the sign of Mesha or Aries. Okay, so taking all of that into consideration, think for a while what event I'm talking about, which is going to take place very soon, and come into your own conclusion. Is that event, major life event, is visible through Gochara? When it comes to Charadasha in our Jaimini astrology, it is also reflected through Charadasha, but I'm not talking about Charadasha in this video. I want to demonstrate how transit works, and if you know how to read transits, it can be extremely great tool. Okay, don't neglect transits. So what I would like to ask, think about that puzzle and use the comment section. Just post your message. Post your message, just one word. What event I'm talking about. Think about it. Reflect if you can really see that event, major event, which is going to take place in my friend's life very soon. Okay, like I'm saying, it is major event. Think of what I just shared, analyze that, and come to the conclusion if that major event is visible through the transits. Okay, like I've said, Charadasha also reflects that. I also mentioned that I really value privacy. Okay, if you want to discuss that chart, for instance, with me, please get in touch. We can discuss privately. Okay, but use the comment section. What you need to do just to put the answer, which is just a one word. Yeah? We're looking for one particular event, one word, and see if you can master, improve, hone your astrological skills when it comes to use current gochara, current transits. Yeah, the event, as I'm saying, is really visible without any problem. Okay, I gave you a lot of hints. Okay, so if you think you know the answers, correct answers, just post the answer in the comment section, and I'm going to record shortly the puzzle number 2. So I believe it will become a bit more interesting, engaging, attractive, yeah, making more fun in learning and using astrology, real astrology, instead of just talking nonsense in your astrological channels. Okay, so please, yeah, if you think you want to play, be engaged in that quiz, post your answer. Take care, and shortly I'm going to record the second astrological puzzle. Okay, take care, good luck, bye bye.